Okay, so yesterday we have seen list, right? How to work with the list, and I was talking about index here. So what is index is? Index is an integer value which is used to identify each element or item. Each element or item in sequence, or what you call it as list. So what is index means? Index is nothing but it is an integer value, and this value is used to identify this value is used to identify each element or item in sequence, or what is that list. So this index can be either positive or it can be what here negative. So positive index is used to read elements or values in forward direction, and negative index is used to read elements or values in backward direction. So positive index is used to read elements or values in forward direction, and negative index is used to read elements or values in backward direction. This index is used as a subscript. This index is used as a subscript to read and write. Okay, you can use this index for both reading and writing, because if it is mutable, you can read it, as well as if it is mutable, you can read as well as what? Write. If it is immutable, you can just read it, but you cannot write it. Okay. If it is mutable, you can read as well as write. So this index is used as a subscript to read and write. So what is the meaning of this is, for example, if I create a list like this, assume that there is a list 1 which is having 10, 20, 30. List 1 is having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, assume that this is a list having how many values here? 5 values. So what will happen is, it will try to create the list. It will try to create a list. So it will try to store all this. Means it will try to organize all these values in which order here? Sequential order. 30, 40, and there's one more value. That value is 50. Okay. Now this is how it is done. So each element is identified. Now you can see this value is a 10, this value is 20, and this value is 30, and there's one more value which is a 50. So here the index starts at 0 when you are reading from left to right. The index starts at 0 when you are reading from left to right. The index starts at -1 when you're reading from right to left. So that is -1, -2, -2, -3, okay, -4, and it is -5. So this is if you want to read the data in forward direction, and this is to read the data in what? Backward direction. You read from here by using negative index, which starts at 1, -1. So your positive index starts at 0, positive index starts at 0, negative index starts at -1, positive index starts at 0, okay, positive index starts at 0, negative index starts at -1. So if you want to read it, you can read like this. I can write print list 1 of 0. So 0 is a subscript, which is called as an index. So what is the value at 0 here? 10. If I'm saying print list 1 of 1, so it will get the value at 1, which is 20. If I'm saying print list 1 of 2, it will get the value at 2, which is 30. If you are writing print list 1 of 3, it will get the value at 3, which is 40. And print list 1 of 4, this value is what here? 50. So you are trying to read each element by using what here? Index. So that index starts at what here? 0. Okay, that index starts at what here? 0. Now I'm saying list 1 of -1. If I say list 1 of -1, what is the value at -1 here? 50. So print list 1 of -2. What is the value at -2 here? Some 40, right? -2 is 40. And if you are saying print list 1 of -3, the value at -3 is 30. So print list 1 of, okay, list 1 of -4, the value at -4 is, okay, 20, and print list 1 of -1, sorry, -5. So the value at -5 is 10. Now this is reading in which direction? Forward direction, and this is reading in backward direction. Suppose if you are trying to give invalid index, suppose list 1 of 5, then it will generate index error because index 5 is not valid. If I are saying print list 1 of -6, okay, this is also generate what? Index error because the index is valid or invalid? Invalid. But if you want to read the elements from the list, you're trying to read it by using which one? Index. So each element in the list is identified with one unique number. Each element in the list is identified with one unique number. And that unique number is called as what here? Index. So what is index? Is an integer value which is used to identify each element. Okay. For example, so I try to create one list. So there is a list with some 5 values. You can read it. Suppose print list 1 of 0, list 1 of 1. Okay. list 1 of 2, okay, list 1 of 3, and list 1 of 4. Okay, print list 1 of -1 and print list 1 of -2, print list 1 of -3, print list 1 of -4, and print list 1 of -5. So you are reading from left to right. Okay, you are reading from left to right as well as right to left. So once you run this, now you can see 10 to 50 and 50 to what year? 10. Suppose assume that there is a list 2. Now within list 2, I'm creating a list 2 with 10 comma, okay, 10 comma, okay, 100 comma. Okay, I said, okay, 1 comma 101. So here I try to create a list with how many values? 100 values. I create list with how many values here? 100 values are there in the list. So how many values are there in the list? 100 values. So the list is created with 100 values, that is from 1 to 100. Okay, now this is a list and my list is created with how many values? 100 values. So that is 1 to 100. 1 to 100 is created with 100 values. So I try to create a list using what here? Range. I try to create a list using what here? Range. Okay. Now the list is created with how many values here? 100 values, that is from 1 to 100. 100 values from 1 to 100. Now I want to read each value from the list. I cannot say every time print list 2 of 0. Okay. I have to say print list 2 of 1. How many times I have to write this? Up to what? List 2 of what? 99. I have to write up to list 2 of 99. So this will become somewhat complex. Because of that, you take the help of which one? For loop. I'll try to generate index for index in range of, okay, 0 comma 100. Okay, if I'm saying for index in range of 0 comma 100, so this range will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this it will generate up to what? 99. So each value I'm using it as what here? Index. So I'll already say print list 2 of what is that? Index. So what will happen in this case? It will read all the values. Okay, you are reading all the values one by one. You are reading all the values one by one by using what here? Index. So what is the value of index here? 0. So list 1 of 0. Okay, what is the value of index here? 1. List 2 of 1. What is the value of index here? 2. That is list 2 of 2. So it will try to read all the values from left to right. It will try to read all the values from left to right. You can see it read all the values from 0 to what is that? 100, from left to right. Read all the values from 0 to, yes, sorry, 1 to 1 to 100, from left to right. Suppose I want to read from right to left. For I in range of, I can give -1 comma -101 comma -1. Okay, so range. So this range will generate all the values from -1 to -100. This range will generate all the values from -1 to -100, -1, minus 2, okay, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So this will generate up to what? Minus 100. So what is the value of index here? Minus 1. The value of index is minus 1. So list 2 of index. List 2 of index. So it will try to read all the values from where? Okay, now you can see 100 to 1. So if you want to read from right side, if you want to read from right side, then you try to take the help of which index? Negative index. But if you want to read from left side, you'll try to use what? Positive index. Suppose I want to read from left side, or I want to read from right side using positive index. I want to read from right side using positive index. For index in range, so last index is what? 100. 100 comma minus 1 comma minus 1. I said 100 comma minus 1 comma minus 1. 100 or 99? 99. What is the last index at right side? 99. So what is the start value here? 99. What is the stop here? Minus 1. Okay, minus 1. And this is a step value. So what will happen in this case? It will generate 99, 98. Sorry, 98, 97. Okay, 96. So this is up to what here? 0. Now you should know the index. If you want to read a specific value, you should know the index. If you want to read a specific value, you should know the index. You should know the index. Which value you want to read it? You should know the index of that particular value. You should know the index of that particular value. Okay, you should know that value, then only you can read it. So print list 2 of index. Print list 2 of index. Now this is reading all the values. You can see from right to left again. Right to left using which index? Positive index. So index starts at what here? 99. So list 2 of 99. Or you can also find the length of the list. Okay, length of list 2 minus 1. So what is the length of list 2? In list 2, how many values are there? 100 values. In list 2, how many values are there? 100 values. 100 minus 1. 100 minus 1 is what? 99. So what is the start value? 99. List 2 of 99. List 2 of 98. Like that. So it will try to read from right to left using positive index. For index in range of now using negative index, I want to read from left to right. Using negative index, can I read from left to right? Yes. I have to start at what? Minus 5. But list 2 is having how many values? 100 values. Then I have to say minus length of. Okay, minus length of list 2. What is minus length of list 2? 100. Minus 100. Minus 100. Minus 100 comma. Minus 100 comma. You have to print up to what? Minus 100 comma minus 1. If I say minus 1, minus 100 comma minus 1, is it minus 1 is included or not included? Not included, right? List 2 dot index. Now this is reading values in different directions using different indexes. Now you can see 0 to 99. What is it? Value 100 is read or not read? Not read. To read 100, I have to put what here? 0. But what will happen if I put 0 here? Okay. So it will also include, now you can see 0. Oh, this is 1 to 100. Because -1 index is included or not included? Not included. So just try to understand. Using positive index, you can read. Use generally positive index is used to read from left to right, and negative index is used to read from right to left. When you're reading from left to right, the index starts at what? 0. When you're reading from right to left, the index starts at what? -1. Okay. When you're reading from left to right, the index starts at 0. When you're reading from right to left, the index starts at what? -1. But using positive index also, you can read from left to right. Okay. Yes. So this is how you are trying to read. This is how you are trying to read. Read the elements from the list. This is how you are trying to read the elements from the list. But there are different ways of reading elements from the list. There are different ways of reading elements from the list. When I try to put the output also, this is output of your code. So number of outputs are there here. Okay. So elements can be read from list. Okay. We can read elements from the list. We can read elements from list in different ways. In different ways. Different ways. The first one is index, and second one is slicing. Third one is iterator. Fourth one is enumerate. Okay, fourth one is enumerate. And fifth one is for loop. How many ways can you read the elements from the list? Different ways are there. You can read the elements from the list in different ways. Using index. Second one is using slicing. Third one is using iterator. Fourth one is using enumerate. Fifth one is using for loop. Okay, already we have seen. Okay, using index, we can read only one value. Using index, we can read how many values? Only one value. So index allows to read. Index allow to read in sequential or random directions. Okay, using index, you can read the values sequentially. Okay, using index, you can read the values sequentially, or you can read the values randomly. Using index, we can read only one value, and index allows reading in sequential as well as what? Random directions. Random means if you want to read a specific value, even you can read that. If you want to read a specific value, you can read that. For example, so which value you want to read, you should know first index of that particular value. Okay, assume that this is a list having how many values? 10 values. You want to read fourth value. You want to read fourth value, then you can give list 1 of 3. So fourth value means I have to say list 1 of 3 because index starts what? 0. The index starts at what? 0. If you want to read the fourth value, I have to give the index as what? 3. So the value at 4. Now 0, 1, 2, 3. If you are reading this, now this is the fourth value. What is the fourth value? 40. I want to read last second value. I want to read last second value. How can I read the last second value? How can I read last second value minus 2? If I say list 1 of minus 2, I get last second value. What is the last second value? 90. Getting on. So you can read it in sequential. You can read using index. You can read in sequential as well as what? Random, both. Using index, you can read in sequential as well as what? Random order. You can read sequential or random. But using this, you can read only one value. Using index, how many values you can read? Only one value. If you want to read more than one value, see list also can be used as array. List can be used as what? Array. So where you can say single dimensional array, multi-dimensional array, which you can call it as matrix. But actually list is not array. Okay, array means the array will have what? Dimensions. Array means array will have what? Dimensions. But list is only collection. And this collection doesn't have dimensions. For example, if you're talking about dimensions, you'll say 1, 2 by 2 matrix, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 2 by 3, 3 by 2. All these are what? Dimensions. And list doesn't have dimensions. It means list can be used as array, but list is not a array. List can be used as array, but list is not a array. If you want to work with the arrays, there is arrays in Python that you learn in NumPy. In NumPy, you find arrays which are called as vectors and matrices. Vectors and matrices. But list is not array. It is only collection where you can group all the objects. So using index, we can read only one value. Index allows reading in sequential as well as what? Random. Okay, that is what we have seen here. But index is always integer value, is not a float value. You can also read elements from list by using which one? Slicing. You can also read the elements from the list using what? Slicing. Slicing, the name itself, right? Slice means getting. Slice means cut. It means if you want to read more than one value, if you want to read more than one value, then go for which one? Slicing. I want to read some 3 values from the list. Then I'll go for which one? Slicing. So slice will return another list. Okay, slice will return what? Another list. So slicing allows to read more than one value from the list. After reading more than one value, where will it store all these values into? Another list. When you slice it, you get another list, sub list. Slicing, get sub list. List from the list. It will get the list from the list. So that can be done by using which one? Slicing. For example, you want to, suppose there is a list of employees. There is a list of employees or list of sales. You want to read first top 5 cells, bottom 5 cells. You want to put top 5 cells into one list. You want to put bottom 5 cells into what? Another list. Top 5 cells means I have to read first 5 values. Okay. Bottom 5 cells means I have to read last 5 values after sorting. So it means you are trying to read more than one value from the list. And how you are reading more than one value from the list? By using which approach? Slicing. 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 Okay, slicing. Slicing allows to read. Slicing allows to read more than one value from sequence or list, because every sequence allows indexing and what? Slicing. Okay. Slicing allows reading more than one value from sequence or what? List. Okay, slicing required multiple indexes. Slicing required multiple indexes. It required multiple indexes. Okay, not one index, right? It required multiple indexes. So where you have to define slicing required start index, okay, stop index, as well as what? Step. Slicing internally, slicing internally uses range for generating what? Indexes. Using these indexes, using these indexes, it read more than one value from list. Slicing return, slicing return, slicing return one new list. Slicing return one new list by copying all elements or items. So the slicing can be done. The slicing can be done. This slicing can be done in two ways. How many ways can you do the slicing? Two ways. One is by using slice operator, and one more is using slice object. So how many ways can you do the slicing here? Two ways. One is using slice operator, and one more is using slice object. Slicing, see what you're learning is how to read elements from the list. What you're learning is how to read elements from the list. After reading, you can perform certain operations. How can you read elements from the list? How many ways are there? 5 ways are there. What is the first one? Is index. Second one is slicing. Third one is iterator. Fourth one is enumerate. Fifth one is what? For loop. So using index, you can read only one value, but you can read that in sequential as well as what? Random. Okay. If you want to read more than one value, then go for what? Slicing. Now, slicing required how many indexes? Two indexes. That is a start index, stop index, as well as step. Using this start, stop, step, internally, it will generate range of indexes. And using this indexes, it read what? More than one value from list. After reading the values from the list, it will copy all these values into another list. So slice will return one new list. Okay. Now first one is using slice operator. Okay, using slice operator. You can read it by using a slice operator. What is the syntax is? You can write like this. List name. So list name is there. List name. So slice means you require multiple indexes. What you required is a starting index, and then colon stop index, and then colon step. So this is one syntax, but these are optional. Start index is optional, stop index is optional, and step is also optional. Start index is optional, stop index is optional, step is also optional. But here, stop index is not included. Stop index is not included. Stop index is what here? Excluded. Stop index is not included. Stop index is what? Excluded. Okay, it is not included. It is what here? Excluded. For example, so all these are useful when you are working with data science for manipulating data. Okay. So indexing, slicing, everything is very much useful. Now this is a list contain how many values? 10 values. Okay. So this is a list having 10 values. 10 values are there in the list here. So that is 10, 20, okay, 20, 30, and 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and one more value is what? 100. So how many values are there in the list here? 10 values. So 10 values are there in the list. And I said each value in the list is given index. Okay. Each value in the list is given what here? Index. So here that index starts at what here? 0. That index starts at what? 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if it is right to left, then it starts at -1. So I can say this is -10, -9. This is -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, and -1. So that is from left to right and right to left. Okay. Now using slicing, what I can do is I'm writing list 2. For example, I want to read all the values from, I want to read first 3 values. I want to read how many values? First 3 values. How can I read first 3 values? I'm saying list 1. List 2 equal to list 1 of. What is the starting index here? 0. What is the stop index here? 3. 3. But 3 is included or not included? Not included. So it will read from 0, 1, and 2. And what is the step value? 1. So internally, it is using range 0, 3, 1. So this will generate how many indexes here? 0, 1, 2. It will read the value at 0. Value at 0 is what? 10. Value at 1 is what? 20. Value at 2 is what? 30. So then it will return this into another list. As you know, this slicing will return one new list. And that new list contain how many values here? 3 values. It will return new list, and that new list is having how many values? 3 values, that is 10, 20, and 30. Suppose I'm saying list 3 equal to list 1 of. Okay, list 1 of. Okay, so I'm trying to say here, okay, 7. I said here 7 colon 10 colon -1. I said 7 colon 10 colon 1. So 7 colon 10 colon 1 means it will take range. What is the starting index? 7. What is the stop here? 10. What is the step here? 1. So it will generate 7. It will generate 7, 8, 9. It will read the value at 7. What is the value at 7? 80, 90, and next one is 100. So this will generate the list contain 10, 20, 30. And this will generate the list which contain 80, 90, 100. 80, 90, and one more is what? 100. So this can be either positive or it can be what here? Negative. For example, I'm saying -1 colon -4. -1 colon -4 colon -1. Okay, so if I'm saying -1 colon, now it will use range. Range -1 colon -4 colon -1. So actually you are giving this in which one? Negative, but internally it will convert this into what? Positive only. Internally it will convert this into positive. Generally index will be positive only. When you write -1 colon -4 -1, so what is the length of the list here? 10. 10 minus 1. So what is the starting index here? 9. Okay, comma 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is what? 6. Comma minus 1. 9 comma 6 comma minus 1. Okay. What is the total length here? 10. 10 minus 1 is what here? 9. What is the stop here? -4. -4 means 10 minus 4 is what here? 6. Comma -1. So it will take this as what? 9, 8, 9, 8, and one more is what? 7. 987 is nothing but 100, 90, and one more value is what? 8. One more value is what here? 80. In the same way, if I'm writing list 5 equal to list 1 of, list 5 equal to list 1 of, I'm saying 0 colon, I said here 0 colon, 0 colon -6, 0 colon -6 colon 1. Okay, 0 colon -6 colon 1. Getting on. So what it will take here? Range of 0 colon -6. So what is the stop I've given? -6. So 10 minus 6 is what here? 4. 10 minus 6 is a 4, comma 1. 4 comma 1. Then it will take this as 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. What is 0, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40? 10, 20, 30, 40. See here, I've given 0 colon -6. But what is -6 equivalent of positive here? 4. Suppose assume that I'm trying to say list 6 equal to list 1 of 3 colon 3 colon, I said 3 colon -3 colon 1. I said 3 colon -3 colon 1. What is the meaning of this? What is the start value? 3. 10 minus 3 is what? 7, comma 1. So it will generate how many? 3, 4, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 is what? 40, 40, 50, 60. 40, 50, 60, and one more value is what? 70. So I want to read all the values except the first 3 values and last 3 values. Except the first 3 values and last 3 values, I want to read all the values. Except the first 3 values and last 3 values, I want to read all the values. I don't want to read first 3 values. I don't want to read last 3 values. I want to read remaining all the values. Then what is the starting index? 3. What is the stop index? -3. What is -3 equivalent of it? 7. So it will read from 3 to 7. But 7 is included. No. So it will read 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but even though you are writing index as a negative, internal it will convert into what? Positive. Even though if you are writing index as a negative, internal it will convert that into what here? Positive. Okay, positive. Just try to understand this. So that is a start, stop, and one more is what? Step. But writing this values are, so these are optional values actually. So some values are what here? Optional. Okay, some values are optional. Just see here. So I try to create a list. So see the output of this list of range. Okay, 10 comma 1, 10 comma 10. Yes, it will return new list. List one of, what is the first statement I've given? Okay, list one of 0 colon 3. Okay, list one of 0 colon 3 colon 1. So list 3 equal to list one of 7 colon 10 colon 1. Okay, list 4 equal to list one of minus 1 colon minus 4 colon minus 1. Okay, list 5 equal to list 1 of, okay, 0 colon minus 6 colon 1. So list 6 equal to list 1 of 3 colon minus 3 colon 1. So I try to print. So print list 1, list 2, list 3, list 4, list 5, and one more is what here? List 6. So I want all this to be printed in the new line. I want to print all this in the new line. So I'm just using separator. Separator equal to backslash n. So once you run this, now you can see this is a list 1, and this is a list 2, list 3, list 4, list 5, and one more is a list 6. So if you want to read more than one value from the list, you take the help of, if you want to read more than one value from the list, you take the help of slicing. You take the help of what here? Slicing. For example, assume that, okay, assume that there is a sales list. There is a sales list. Okay, there is a sales list with some sales. Okay, some random sales are there. Okay, random sales are there. There is a sales list with some sales. Okay, like this. Like this, some sales are there. So like this, there are some sales. Some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 sales are there. Now I want to get the top 2 sales and bottom 2 sales. I want to find out the top 2 sales as well as bottom 2 sales. How can I find out the top 2 sales and bottom 2 sales? First, you have to sort it. What do you have to do? Sort. Because is it all these sales are in specific order? No. All these sales are random or not? Yes. First, sort the sales list by saying sales list dot. What is the function or method I'm using is sort. Now this is print sales list. I'm saying print sales list. And after sorting, I'm printing what here? Sales list. Okay, after sorting, I print the sales list. Before sorting and after sorting, see here. Before sorting, it is random. But after sorting, now you can see it is in which order here? Ascending order. It is in which order here? Ascending order. Now I want to print, I want to get minimum 2 cells and maximum 2 cells. Minimum sales equal to what you'll write here? Sales list. Sales list 0 colon 3. 0 colon 3. So is it 0 colon 3 means, oh sorry, 0 colon 2, 0 to 0 colon 2 colon 1. Okay, anyway, default step is 1 only. So it will read the value at 0 and the value at 1. It will read the value at 0 and value at what? 1. So minimum 2 cells. I want maximum 2 cells. Then I'm saying sales list of maximum 2 cells. Maximum 2 cells means I have to write what? Maximum 2 cells means from last. Okay, minus 2, minus 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, right? So minus 2 colon 0. Minus 2 colon what? 0. Minus 2 colon 0. I said minus 2 colon 0. Suppose if I say minus 2 colon minus 1, if I say minus 2 colon minus 1, is it minus 1 is included? No. Minus 1 is included or not included? Not included, right? So minus 2 colon minus 1. But what is the step value here? 1. So minus 2 colon minus 1 colon 1. So minus 2. Value at minus 2 is what? Last cells. Last but 1 cell, and minus 2 plus 1 becomes what? Minus 1. But is it minus 1 is included or not included? Not included. This is the minimum cells, and this is what here? Maximum cells. 2 minimum cells. This is a 2 minimum cells, but I get only 1 maximum cell. But I want how many maximum cells here? 2 maximum cells. When 0. But if I say 0, is it 0 is included? No. Is it this is valid or invalid? Invalid. Why? Because when the index is, when the step is positive, the start must be less than what? Stop. When the step is positive, the start must be less than what? Stop. Is the start is less than stop? Start must be less than which one? Stop. When the step is positive, the start must be less than stop. Now minus 2 is less than 0. Minus 2, start must be less than stop. Actually, minus 2 is less than what? Minus 2 is less than 0 or greater than 0? Less than 0. Less than 0. Minus 2 is less than what here? 0. But why 0 is not included? Why 0 is not displayed? Because 0 is one index or not? Yes. Is it exist or not exist? Exists. So it will become which one here? Cycle. This will become here what? Cycle. To avoid this, I want to read all the values from minus 2 to end of the list. I want to read all the values from minus 2 to what? End of the list. So I have not given the stop. If I don't give the stop, it will read all the values from minus 2 to end of the list. Minus 2 to what here? End of the list. So there are some values which are optional. There are some values which are optional. Now we'll discuss that. What are the things which are optional? What are the things which are optional? So this is finding 2 maximum cells, 2 maximum cells and minimum cells. But for finding this, first you are trying to sort it. But how you are sorting it? By using a method called sort. Now sort is a method of which one? List. So which will sort in which order? Ascending order. So slicing operator is having different syntaxes. Slicing operator is having different syntaxes. If you see the syntaxes of slicing operator, it is like this. This is a syntax 1. Because there are something which are optional. Okay, optional things are there. What is the syntax 1 is? Now just now we have seen. What is that? List name. List name where you are trying to give start, stop, as well as what? Step. Syntax 2, I can write list name. These are optional, right? Start is optional. If I am writing only colon, means start is not given. Again, one more colon means stop is not given, but which one is given here? Step is given. Okay, start is not given, stop is not given, but only which one is given? Step is given. So what will happen in this syntax is the start and stop values are taken based on the step value. The start and stop indexes are taken based on which value? Step value. Okay. The start stop values, the start comma stop values, the start comma stop values are taken based on which value? Step value. The starting index and stop index. The start index and stop index is taken based on which one? Step. The start index and stop index is taken based on which one? Step. The start index and stop index is taken based on which one? Step. Suppose yeah, just to try to understand this. It's very easy. If the step value is, if step is positive, if step is positive, start is 0, start equal to what? 0, and stop is length of list. Okay, stop is what here? Length of list. If step is negative, if the step is negative, the start is -1. What is the start? -1. Then stop is minus length of list. Minus length of list plus 1. Minus of length of list plus 1. See here. The start stop values are taken based on which value? Step value. If the step is positive, the start is 0 and stop is what? Length of the list. If the step is negative, the start is -1 and stop is what? Length of minus length of list plus 1. What is the meaning of this is, for example, just to see here, for example, I have a list 1 with a list of range. I'm creating a list with how many values? 10 values. Now this is a list 1 with how many values are there in the list 1? 10 values. How many values are there in list 1? 10 values are there in the list 1. Okay, 10 values. Now what I'm doing is I'm saying list 2 equal to list 1 of, I'm not giving the start value, I'm not giving the stop value, but I've given only which value? Step value. Then what is the default start? 0. What is the default stop? Length of the list. Default stop is the length of the list. Now, will it read all the values from left to right? Yes. Suppose if I'm writing list 3 equal to list 1 of, I'm not giving the start and stop, I'm giving only step. What is the step is given here? 2. What is the start here? 0. What is the stop here? Length of the list. But index is incremented with what? 2. Okay, it will read the value at 0. 0 plus 2 is a 2. 2 plus 2 is a 4. Means it will read first value, then third value, then is it read alternative values or not? Yes. So if I'm trying to say print list 2, you can see list 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or list 2, list 3, sorry. Print list 3, now you can see 10, 30, 50, 70, and 90. So because start is 0, 0 plus 2 is a 2. First it will read a value at 0. 0 plus 2 is a 2. What is a 2? 30. And 2 plus 2 is a 4. Value is what? 50. 4 plus 2 is a 6. Value is at what here? 70. 6 plus 2 is a 8. And the value is what here? 90. Okay. So you are incrementing the index with what here? 2. Suppose if I am saying list 4 equal to list 1 of, I am not giving the start value and stop value. I am just giving which value? Step value. If you don't give the start and stop and negative step, what is the start value? -1. See here, that is what I said. If the step is negative, the start is what? -1 and stop is minus of length of list plus 1. So total how many values are there in the list? 10. 10 plus 1 is what? 11. Minus 11. Minus 1, 2. Minus 11. But minus 11 is included or not included? Not included. So will it print all the values in reverse or not? Yes. It just reverse the list. What it will do? It will reverse the list. Means it will read all the values from where? Right to left. If I'm trying to say list 5 equal to list 1 of colon -2. I said list 5 equal to list 1 of colon -2. What is -2 here? Step. So 0. It starts at -1. -1 of -1 plus of -2 is what? -3. So the increment is done with -2 or not? Yes. So it will read. Oh, it will read. It will read like this. What is this? 100. -1 and then -3, then -5, then -7, then -9. So 100, 80, 60, 40, and one more value is a 20. If you don't give the start and stop, what I meant to tell you is, if you don't give the start and stop, the default start and stop is based on which one? Step. If the step is positive, yes, right. So this is done at the interactive mode. Yes. Now this is syntax 2. Suppose if you see, it means there is some values which are optional in the slicing operator. If you don't give anything, suppose I just write here list name. So I've not given the start and stop. Okay, or I can write the same thing like this. List name. I'm not giving a start and stop. You can write like this. If you are not giving the start stop step, if you are not giving start stop as well as what step, if start stop step and step values are not given, what will happen? Not given the default start is 0, stop is length of the list, and step is 1. Means it will create, the syntax will create the copy of the list. The syntax create copy of the list. Okay, the syntax will create the copy of the list because you are not giving the start stop as well as what step. You can write like this also, only one colon. You can write 2 colons or you can write only 1 colon. You can write either 2 colons, either you can write only 1 colon, no problem. But this will create a copy of the list. This will create copy of the list. For example, I create a list one with, okay, something. Now I try to create a list using range. Okay, range. I just write here some values 10, 21. This is a list one. which contain all the values from 10 to 20, 10, 11, 12, up to what? 20. I want to create a copy of it. I'm creating a copy of it by saying list one of colon colon. So I just write here colon colon. This indicates you're trying to read all the values from left to right. So if you don't give the index, starting index, stop index, as well as step, then the default is, now if you see list one, this is list one, list two, and this is list three. So it will try to read all the values from left to right. Now this is list one, and this is a list two, and this is what here, list three. So this is one syntax. Okay, this is one syntax. If you don't give the starting index and stop index, if you don't give the starting index and stop index, it will do like this. But this is creating the copy of the list. This is creating copy of the list. This is creating copy of the list. Okay. See here, which one is not given? Start and stop. But the start and stop is taken based on which one? Step. But here, which one is not given? Everything is not given. If you don't give anything in the slicing operator, if you don't give anything, then default it takes the start as 0 and stop as length of the list and step as what? 1. So this will nothing but will it create another list by copying all the elements or not? Yes. It will create another list by copying all the elements from one list into what? Another list. Okay. So you have some more syntaxes of this slicing. Okay. So tomorrow I'll tell you like how to work with this slicing, because slicing is done using slicing operator, and one more is using which object here? Slice object. And we'll try to see all this like already we did with index. Tomorrow I'll tell you slicing, iterator, enumerate, as well as for loop, so that we can see how to perform like mutable operations. Okay. Uh, so we'll try to see this tomorrow. Today we'll stop it here, and tomorrow we'll continue it. Right. Thank you.